car still smells like you somehow, even after all these months. Your perfume's buried in the seats, mixed with cigarette smoke and dust. I still know exactly where your feet went on long drives out of town. You lean your head against the window when your thoughts got too loud, and every road outside this city feels connected to your name. I can't even stop for gas now without remembering something painful. It's terrifying how normal life keeps moving after heartbreak. The car still smells like you, and honestly I wish it didn't, 'cause every late night drive turns into a conversation with your memory again. And I know people say time changes things, but time just changed where you are. It didn't stop me from missing you every time I start this car. I heard you moved in with somebody who wakes up earlier than me. Someone calmer, someone stable, someone easier to keep. And maybe they deserve your softness more than I ever did. I was always too distracted, too angry at the world to notice it. You used to sing with every song, even when you missed the words. God, I'd do anything to hear your voice filling up this silence again. People think heartbreak is dramatic, but most days it's just painfully quiet. The car still smells like you, like old fries, cheap perfume and rain, like every stupid fight we had, and every moment I wish I could replay. And sometimes I still drive past your house just to prove you're really gone. Like part of me still can't accept that someone else is where I belong. Last winter I almost called you when my dad got sick for a while, because you were always the first person who knew how to calm me down. But I stared at your number until the screen went dark and realized losing somebody also means losing your safest heart. Now there's empty coffee cups in the backseat, songs we used to love that I can't finish. Half the city I avoid completely, and a version of myself that disappeared with you. The car still smells like you, and maybe one day that'll fade. Maybe one morning I'll sit inside it and I feel completely changed. But tonight the streets are empty and your memory's riding shotgun again. And I swear sometimes missing you feels worse than losing you did back then. I keep driving away lately just to feel close to you. If you heard this song, you'd know it was about you instantly, because nobody else leaves coffee cups on the right side of the sink. Nobody else says I'm fine like that when they're 2 seconds from crying. Nobody else steals hoodies then swears they're giving them back. Nobody else made my apartment feel less empty than that, and nobody else could ruin me just by becoming distant. I knew something changed when your voice stopped sounding like home. If you heard this song, you know about you instantly. The way I still say your name, like you're somewhere listening, and every line hurts a little too much to be about anybody else. God, I wish I could stop loving you without losing myself. I still remember that night in December. You cried inside my car, said you were scared we were becoming people who only leave scars. And I laughed it off like an idiot, said we were different somehow. Funny how confidence disappears when there's nobody around now. I heard from somebody you moved on, and honestly, good for you. I just wish my heart understood what my head already does. 'Cause healing isn't linear, it's missing you again for no reason at all. If you heard this song, you know it was about you instantly. The late night drives, the fight in the way you'd fall asleep next to me, and every word I couldn't say while you were still in reach. Now I write them into melodies, hoping somehow you'll hear me. Sometimes I think about showing up outside your place at night, not to fix anything, not even to change your mind, just to ask if you still think about me when your room gets quiet too. Because surviving you has been harder than actually losing you. Everybody told me music helps people heal, but nobody warned me that writing about you keep you alive in me. If you heard this song, you'd know it was about you instantly. Because nobody else has ever known me the way you knew every piece of me. And maybe one day I'll sing this without feeling my chest caving, but right now every word still sounds like the night you left again. If you heard this song, I think you'd finally know I never really let you go. Every street around this town still knows too much about us. The gas station near your apartment, the diner where we got stuck talking till 2. There's a bench near the river where you cried in my hoodie once, and I still avoid that whole side of town like memories can physically touch me. Funny how cities don't change even when people completely do. These streets know too much about us. They remember every version we were. Back when your hand fit in mine, like nothing bad could occur. Now I drive with the windows about me when the roads get empty. And maybe one day I'll stop turning around every time somebody looks like you. But tonight this whole city still feels built around losing you. There's still a dent on your side of the bed, even after all this time. I sleep close to the edge now, like I'm leaving room for goodbye. Your coffee cup's gone from the kitchen, but I still reach for two. Funny how the smallest habits are the hardest things to lose. Everybody says I'm doing better. Just learned how to hide it well. 'Cause every night I still talk to you like you're somewhere in the room, telling stories to the ceiling, trying not to think of you. I know your number by memory, I could call without my phone. And that's the worst kind of missing somebody, when forgetting feels impossible. I saw your friend downtown last Friday. She looked surprised to see me smile. Guess nobody told her I got good at pretending for her a while. And I heard you cut your hair short. You always said you never would. I wonder if you changed because you wanted to, or because I knew you too good. Sometimes I think we'd still be talking if we met a little later on, when we knew how to stay instead of proving who was wrong. You look happier in pictures than you ever did with me. That realization hit me somewhere around 2 a.m. last week. You're standing next to somebody who looks calm beside your heart. And I hate that I still compare myself to people I don't even know. I should've but some part of me still checks. You look happier in pictures, like the world finally got light, while I'm still driving through our hometown, trying not to lose my mind. And maybe that's what healing is, watching somebody move on first, while you stay stuck remembering every version of them that hurts. My friends don't say your name anymore, they think it helps somehow, but silence just makes memories louder when nobody talks them out. And I still wear the chain you bought me, even though I know I shouldn't. Funny how the smallest things end up surviving the longest. You left your shoes by my front door for almost all of July. I remember laughing one morning, saying they practically lived inside. We spent whole nights driving nowhere, windows down near the coast, talking about getting older like we had control over most things. Now your side of town feels different, even traffic lights look colder somehow. I think summer stayed longer than us, the weather still feels the same, but everything good about this city left when you changed. Now every song from last August hits me somewhere I can't explain. Funny how a season can return, but people never do the same, yeah. Grocery store, she asked if I still write songs. I almost laughed in the middle of aisle 3, 'cause lately everything comes out wrong. And your number's still in my favorites, even though we barely speak. I guess some habits stay alive long after they stop meaning peace. Maybe we were too young, or maybe we just got scared. But sometimes I still catch myself looking for you every year. Called you 7 times that night and told myself you fell asleep. But deep down I already knew something underneath had changed. Your location stopped appearing. Suddenly I couldn't breathe. Crazy how silence from one person can ruin everything you feel. That was the night you didn't answer, the night I lost my place in you, the night my chest felt heavy driving home with nothing left to do. And I kept staring at my phone screen, like heartbreak might reverse itself. But sometimes losing somebody happens quietly by yourself. 3 days later we talked in person, but your eyes were somewhere else. I think people leave emotionally long before they leave for real. You kept saying I still care about you, while pulling further every week. And somehow that sentence hurts more than if you had just been me. The last thing you said to me was drive safe in a tired voice. Crazy how normal moments become the ones that destroy you most. You stood there under your porch light, arms folded against the cold. And I thought we'd talk tomorrow, like tomorrow was something old. Now I replay every sentence, trying to hear something new, like maybe there was a warning hidden inside the way you moved. But heartbreak doesn't arrive loudly, it slips in quiet and slow. One ordinary conversation, then suddenly somebody goes. I still know where your parents live, still remember your dog's name, still think about texting you every time it starts to rain. And everybody keeps saying you'll meet somebody someday, like love is just replaceable, like people work that way. I wish I knew when we were happy that those days were disappearing. Maybe I would have held you long instead of always disappearing too. I found your name written in my notes app, between grocery lists and half-finished songs. Funny how you still appear in my life without even trying anymore. There's a bottle by my bedside from the winter you got sick. You told me to throw it out months ago, but I never really did. And last night I drove past your street again, even though I swore I wouldn't. I think part of me still believes I'll see your shadow through the curtains. Everybody says if it ended, let it end, but nobody explains how. I think I loved you more after you left, when all I had were memories, when your voice became something distant instead of something next to me. And now every little thing reminds me how careless I used to be. God, I should have held you closer when you still wanted me. You used to wait away for me when I stayed out too late with friends, and I acted like your worrying was something I had to defend against. Now I give anything to walk inside and hear you ask how my night went. Funny how loneliness teaches you the value of what you once neglected. Your birthday came around last month. I stared at your contact for an hour, trying to decide if missing somebody still gives you the right to reach out. But healing's strange, it makes you silent about the people you die to talk to. I think I loved you more after you left, when your side of the bed stayed cold, when nobody knew the little things that you somehow always notice. Like how I get quiet when I'm anxious, to stare out windows when I'm hurt. Now strangers touch the parts of you that once completely felt like home first. Sometimes I wonder if you hate me or if you miss me too, if your friends still bring me up and if you pretend not to, if you still drive by my neighborhood or hear me in certain songs, or if moving on came easy and I'm the only one still holding on. Cause I swear I tried deleting pictures, I tried drinking you away, I tried meeting someone new, I tried acting unaffected, I tried staying busy enough to not feel you disappearing from my life. But grief doesn't leave politely, it sits beside you everywhere. And I think I loved you more after you left, more than I knew while you were mine. Now every memory feels expensive, every moment rewinds. And if I saw you one more time, I don't think I'd try to be strong. I'd probably just apologize for every way I loved you wrong. Some people leave quietly, and somehow that hurts the longest.